Excerpts of his work from Red Bull's Paradigm Lost, Who's J.O.B., Apple's Make or Break series, and film projects like his latest, Broken Molds, the origin story of windsurfing. 5:30 to 7:30 p.m. Register at allkaku.org.
Tragedy that hits one of us is felt by all of us. These past few days, the resolve of our families, businesses, and visitors have been tested like never before in our lifetime. With lives lost and properties decimated, we are grieving with each other during this inconsolable time. We are truly grateful for our first responders and emergency personnel whose own families and friends have been affected by the Lahaina and upcountry fires. Our Emergency Operations Center has been fully activated, and we are fortunate to be able to work together with our federal, state, county, and business partners as we make our way through this crisis. Even though we are hurting, we are still able to move forward, especially when we do it together. In the days ahead, we will be stronger as a kaya ulu, or community, as we rebuild.
In exactly 15 seconds, we'll be on the air. KAKU 88.5 FM.
Okay, here we go.
Kahului, Maui.
Quiet,
please. The voice of Maui.
Hello, everyone. Sorry, Mayor Bisson. Our techno people gave us a bit of a change. We honor you and the County of Maui. Maui strong, Lahaina strong. This is a different show. I'm Jason Schwartz. I'm your host here at the Neutral Zone, MauiNeutralZone.com, DreamMaui.org. Dream Maui. Where are we on this matrix of what we're going to do to rebuild better? Now, if you go up to the website that we have, you're going to see that we've been sitting and trying to put a program together here for 30 years. And you'll see it laid out and a little bit rough. Well, that's why we need all of us to come together and make it better. And that's what you'll see. DreamMaui.org, Maui Arts and Music Association, MAMA, and People Aligned in Positive Action, PAPA. Who would think that a catastrophe like this would have us considering that Regena Maui LLC, created for Regenatech and regenerating a program here in Maui to take our waste and turn it into biofuel and a superfood to grow plants and create self-sustainability and more, and network through the world, all kinds of good things. So let us feel like we are, number one, blessed, and number one, we are the ones to make that difference. All the visions we've had come together. All the people that know me and know what's going on here. Let's align in positive action and make this a blessing for the world. You know, I could read a list of people who I want to speak to, like Oprah and Jeff Bezos, but a couple of people, I got a vision where I don't want to talk about it here, but let us say it is a blessing to be alive. I honor all the people that are going through the pain, never mind that, the people that have given their ultimate physical sacrifice. Horrible situation that none of us can deny, you know, no matter what its source. By the way, our guest, whose name is Capri, he's coming in. I guess he knows that today is a different day. We're going to have him on another day and talk about in more depth his subject. We're a call-in radio and TV simulcast, okay? So 808-873-3435 is the number to call in, 808-873-3435. You'll see it in the lower right on the screen. And we're going to do that after 10:30, which means we got a little bit of time. And we're going to spend a little time talking about Lahaina. Please take the time to go to DreamMaui.org, which will go to MauiArtsAndMusic.org. And I'll be talking about it again. In fact, you'll look at some of the shows. The people that are on my shows are the people that are the parts of the matrix to make this a self-sustainable, beautiful model. There's more to come. As you can see, I have a Now I see you too. Now I know which mic is which. I love that. I have a guest with me. I am going to take a little bit of a musical break. A song by, I'm happy to say, my friend for 30 years, Lono, who wrote a great song. Wrote that song in 1998 when Jack Lewin was running for governor. And he asked me to sing it. And it was a great song. It is a great song. It's Time for Now. It's called Unlock the Hope.
The time has come to make a change. The time has come to unlock the hope that lives in each and every one of us. And we must do our part. We hold the visions God dreams of. Our hands can heal the ones we love. Let's gather round and let us make a stand for you and me. Unlock the hope and there's a better life. Unlock the hope, there'll be no turning back. But nothing changes unless we unlock the hope. The time has come to make a change. The time has come to unlock the hope that lives in each and every one of us. And we must do our part. We hold the visions God dreams of. Our hands can heal the ones we love. Let's gather round and let us make a stand for you and me.
Here's our opportunity to elevate the local culture, to be able to create a
turning back. But
integration
nothing changes unless we unlock the
out of a horrible
hope.
situation.
But nothing changes unless we unlock
Let's
the
dream, Maui.
hope.
Dream world and be part
But
of us.
nothing changes. Unless we unlock the hope. Unless we unlock the hope. Unless we unlock the hope. Unless we unlock the hope.
Wow, I love that. That's Unlock the Hope from Lono. Lono has been doing albums for years. He's on Molokai, and he actually, I believe, teaching people ukulele, and he's a wonderful man. And does in Hawaii and does music. And I think about those days from way back when, and, you know, Lenny, who plays bass with Mick Fleetwood there, and Lenny and Paul, and creation of Maui Arts and Music Association at the time when, you know, it got referred by John Woodhouse. And all the way back when Lahaina was, I thought, new. But I have a guest today who was here before me. And many of you know him as Capri. But I didn't. I was really bad because I thought I knew him. I knew what. And then when I said, Pete Capriotti, Capri. So he's been working on, and he'll tell us in a minute. Welcome to our show. What an honor to have you here with us. You know, I feel like I want you to jump in. If you wait for me to stop, you're in trouble.
Well, thank you, Jason, and I've admired you for a long time for your commitment to the community very dedicated to our Ohana, our Aina, and Malama and Mahalo to you. Yes, I have many stories to tell. When I first came, Lahaina was the only place that you could get a job. And, then I was very much involved. I worked as a goldsmith at 505. We were making jewelry, and that was a good start for me. I had painted a mural the first week I came here of a local scene, and I'm not sure what I was going to do, but once I started working on Front Street, I found it very, magical to be on Maui, particularly in Lahaina. But one of the ladies that worked us, Charlotte, said, Capri, come play soccer with us. And I said, I'm working 7 days a week. She said, I get you off for half a day. So then we went over to Baldwin, and then there was no soccer league. We had a team from Lahaina, from Upcountry, Kahului, and Kihei, and Hana. And it was a small league to start with, but our games were all over on Baldwin because Baldwin Park Upcountry was the first time I went upcountry. When I went upcountry,
Baldwin Park, everyone here that's listening,
right.
If you're from around the world, you think upcountry means upcountry. It means when you go to the airport and you go left, first you hit Baldwin Park as the entrance to Paia, which is like going back to the 60s and 70s for most towns. And then from there, you have up to Haiku, and then you go to the right and you go toward Makawao, Olinda, Kula, which also had fire. We haven't had fire like losing 30 homes in Kula and Olinda. Horrible. But you don't hear about that as much. You're hearing about Lahaina.
When I came up country after the game, I looked up and I saw Giggle Hill, the rainbows. I said, if I could only live up there, I would be the happiest person in the world. And I've been there for 40-something years now. So I feel that I'm very lucky. But, of course, living in Makawao is connected with Lahaina because there were really no jobs. Half of Makawao and Paia were boarded up. Now, we had a storm in 1980, and it was a devastating storm. It wasn't a hurricane, but it blew and rained and blew. And I was right on Baldwin Avenue in Makawao, and that turned into a river. And it was so intense that many people had to leave, including me. So I packed up, knew I was going to come back, but the infrastructure was lacking, and all the poles on Baldwin Avenue, the ground was so soft and it blew so hard that all the poles were leaning. Okay, so strong winds, we're used to that. But we should have learned, and I think it was during the Linda Lingle administration that I brought up the point that we should have underground electricity.
No, that's interesting. That kind of year, I happened to know Linda Lingle only because she was on council, and then she ran for mayor. When I ran for mayor as a Green Party guy in council, the early 90s. So you were already here, and you live with these problems, and we see these problems, but things around here haven't been capitalized the way they need to.
Yes.
And because of that, here we are in a situation like we see in West Maui.
Well,
we've known that one lane in is ridiculously ridiculous. Why is there no police there? No one making a left. That should have been sailing out of Lahaina.
The storm really closed Lahaina. The road was washed out. Lahaina was isolated. Hana was isolated. Olinda, all the trees came down.
Then, in 1980.
Yeah, 1980, the storm. So the thing is, I think I brought it up to Linda Lingle. Why don't we have underground electricity? And she said, well, those people in Wailaita paid for it. I said, we didn't get a choice. The people deserve better. Right. Well, it cost 3 times as much to put it underground. I said, but look at what was saved. We have high winds here. How could they do something that is, if they can afford it in Wailea, why can't we eventually, little by little, start putting it underground? Because they have it in Wailea and we don't. So this is like the tourists are elevated among the from the people.
Well,
the people are
you know,
really are
well,
be considered.
I'm only breaking in because of the fact that you are such a multi guy. I'm staring at this statue. I know I want to make sure not to miss it, but we have time. You know, the way I met you was you were at the Haiku Community Association meetings. And,
Yes.
And you saw and watching me and making my statements and doing things. I was always sort of too radical for people because I guess you'd say, just like you said, we've been talking about underground utility for
Yes.
as long as we're on Maui,
Yes.
and we're on Maui for 30, 40 years.
Yes.
That's going to change right now. Right, Mayor Bisson? We just cut you off at the beginning of the show. We wanted to get to see you. Maybe we'll let you have a tape, if we can, of this show. And you're welcome to sit right here with us. We'll do a Zoom. But, yeah, you know, 1993, the head of the Maui Visitors Bureau was Roger Dubin. And a lot of people love Roger Dubin.
Yeah.
And then Marsha. Well, Roger Dubin was going to be the head of my organization. And then he said, I got a job offer. I got to take it. Maui Visitors Bureau. So he sent 4 pages and wrote a letter. In the board meeting, they said, don't back Schwartz. Now, it was right then at the Cultural Center opening. I had booked the opening with Pundy, and that the fabulous Marcia Kelly, may bless her soul, up in Kula, fighting these flames. Marcia Kelly and the whole booking. There's such a long story to this. The Maui Electric president sitting at the Maui Arts and Cultural Center. We're talking about what can be. So when you talk about underground utility, this is bigger than a bread box. And so political is for another day. Today's a day for honoring and blessing God that we're alive and have incredible gratitude, incredible prayers for people that have lost loved ones and the people that have lost their lives themselves. It's something beyond my understanding, you know.
You know, the people of Maui are incredible. The locals here have so much aloha. I was unloading my truck at the dump, and here a couple takes the time and comes over, doesn't say anything, helps me unload my truck. I am just said, this is Maui, this is aloha, this is the Aina, this is Kokua, working together. This is community. I have been involved in Makawao, vice president there. I was president of Haiku Community. I got in with Tom Morrow after my horse got run over by a drunk driver, and we formed HITA, a Hawaiian Trail Association, and that's how I got to know Tom, who was a great roper, a guy from New York that was a horseman, a wonderful guy. And we still miss him and remember him, and that's why we created Tom Morrow Equestrian Arena. And very much.
Is that the one down there in Maliko Gulch?
No, that's the one in on Giggle Hill, the fourth Marine Park.
You know, the people are the memories of Maui. Maui is a great place. You in the world, we love and support you. You could love and support us by being part of what we do here. DreamMaui.org. I'm going to say it again right in the middle of the show. Go there and start reading. You'll get a mission statement and see that by adding you into this equation, all kinds of people are going to find that this is a world-changing event that's happening.
I want to thank and I want to remember the Marines, the 4th Marine Division, who had probably 50% casualties, that made Maui their home. And I was honored to be on the committee at the park when they turned it over to us. And it was a joint venture between, we had Chubby Vicens of A&B, and we had the Marines were all passing away, wanted to give it to the community. So it was between the community, the business, and the county that we got what we got. And Chubby was great. He said, you know what? We're arguing who was going to have what, and the soccer fields, the baseball fields. And we needed 3 extra acres. And Chubby stepped up and gave us the 3 extra acres that now Tom Morrow Arena is on.
I see.
And so this was a joint venture between the community, business, that we could work together.
Now, I'm going to, for a moment, you could probably tell me of example, but now I'm going to switch to our current day problem. We can work together. We've done it before. We are a team. Team Aloha at iCloud.com. That's the way to easily email if you got anything to say right now. If you want to call in, you see the number on the screen, but we're 808-873-3435 and channel 55 on TV, Akaku Maui Community Media. I'm here with Capri, and we are talking on the 14th of August 2023, a few days from now, on the 25th, Jesus' birthday, from the Arancha book. If you read that book, that's a Maui experience. My old friend and my roommate, Jim Kimmel, Reverend Jim Kimmel, bless his heart. Willie Nelson would like to talk to you. Oprah would like to talk to you. Larry Ellison, please give a call. DreamMaui.org. Team Aloha at iCloud. You know, this is not only now, this is the world. We're going to take a break here in a minute, but I really thank all of you for listening about what we're talking about, sharing this show, sharing these ideas. They've been 30 years in the making. Some of you know I ran for council this last time. The lady that won, Tasha Kama, and I are friends. I came in 7th out of 7. And the people that voted for me, like, why didn't you? A lot of people know now and will know more. I don't need to run. I just need to be part of this matrix and play my part, like we all do. We can decentralize. You hear about they want to eminent domain. Well, the streets are going to get eminent domain over there no matter what. So they're going to plan a grid. And that grid, a smart grid, if we use it wisely, will serve us. God bless the Hawaiians who are, I hope, are in the mix in all this. I'm just a tail wagging the dog. I'm a pipsqueak here. But I've been talking it 30 years, and I'm not alone. There are a lot of people that tell me, I know, I'm part of. Well, all of you, this is the time to stand up, whether you're from here or from wherever. Whether you're a musician from here, or an artist from here, or from wherever. The network of what we're going to do, and what we already are doing, but with your help, DreamMaui.org, Mama and Papa. We're people aligned in positive action. John Scarchino, who designed all kinds of lettering and album covers. Ruby Mazer, they know of John. Ruby Mazer, who had a gallery going to open in a couple of days in LAHAINA, right next to Mixed Fleetwood's place. This is earth-changing. You know, we're not talking about the lives that are lost, because that is so personal, and we're talking about the hope for the future, and we're going to be doing tributes with musicians from here and musicians from all over the world who want to be able to contribute. Their performances and the monies that come through all this thing is going to be rebuilding the art and music community of Maui and the world in a way that artists and musicians got paid like never before. And a third of the money goes to the environment, a third to the musicians, and a third to run it. Mama and Papa, people aligned in positive actions. An idea plus action, that's dream making. And together, we are the ones that we've been waiting for. You know, all these expressions? Now's the time. If you're from Maui, you know it. When you look to the West Maui Mountains, you see beautiful Maui Mountains. I was standing at the Dunes Country Club yesterday planning a show, which I have there, shows with music and art, and I thought, my goodness, nobody here knows. It's like an isolated thing, but we're blessing Maui with every bit of our heart. Every bit of our heart. And I know you want to do that. I'm going to take a break here in a second and set up commercials. Why don't you talk while I set up? We're talking about things as they are.
So my business, Creative Design Science, has been here for 40, almost 50 years now. And I'm going to write the book, 50 Years of Signs on Maui. But I made over 1,000 wooden redwood signs. We've been through 10,000 tons of redwood. And a lot of those signs were in LAHAINA, because it was always required to have a three-dimensional sign. So this is how I made my living, and you know, I've got signs all over the island. And when Aniki hit, we went to Kauai and we volunteered signs. We still have some signs at the airport there, and the Moki Hana and all the themes there. But I feel like I was obligated to make the best signs possible, because signs were like a bad thing. We don't want signs, but to me, it's art. And
so you've been doing redwood signs, and then you graduated to signs of all kinds, and
stone.
Some of them are monuments. All these major jobs around this life in Maui over these years. And now you've done a statue. After our break, we're going to get specifically into the statue of you.
Yeah, well,
okay.
One of the signs that won, the Pinnacles won an award, an international award.
Way back when?
For monument signs. I'm not sure in the
2000s.
But we were the only ones in Hawaii.
The 2000s?
We were the only ones in Hawaii that got recognized as one of the top signs in the world.
Well, now we're going to have an opportunity, Capri, to show your art on this. People who look at the site know that art, music, culture, you'll see spots there for musicians and artists. They'll be putting in stuff, and we'll be putting it up, pictures and a little blurb. And this is the beginning for everyone to recognize. This is, my God, it's something that's fair and honest and open. My goodness, there's no politics here. It's we all care and work together. We generate our leaders from the leaders that we are. We are mankind, and we move with deliberate action. And we integrate Hawaiian and local, of all kinds of things. I hope Keamoku Kapu is going to come and join me, and other Hawaiian leaders, Amy Gilliam. I got lists. I was going to stand here before I knew Capri was coming. I was going to read lists of people that all want to talk to but that's not, we don't have time for now. Capri, hang on a second. We're going to get to the break, and then we'll come back, I promise, okay?
Okay.
All you callers, after the break, we're going to have 5 minutes with Capri, and then the callers, 808-873-3435 is our call-in line. 808-874-5900 is me. Here we go.
Hi, I'm Chuck Sauce, host of Biscuits and Gravy. KAKU is a listener-supported station. This means that all of the great programs you hear, like mine, are supported by you as well as our underwriters. If you would like to help keep the voice of Maui talking loud and clear, go to kakufm.org/donate today and give. Don't miss the Biscuits and Gravy Show Wednesdays at 11 a.m. 88.5 KAKU.
This is how we do every day. We be grinding, and if you wanna come and text us,
if you love them enough to turn off your music and pretend like their music is your music.
This is Mommy's jam.
Then surely you'll check nhtsa.gov/the right seat to make sure they're in the right car seat.
Let's play it again.
Check today at nhtsa.gov/the right seat. Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
Need help affording internet at home? The Affordable Connectivity Program can help. If you qualify for SNAP, SSI, Medicaid, Federal Housing Assistance, or have Keiki and free and reduced lunch programs, then you may be eligible to receive a discount on your monthly internet bill. With affordable internet, you can video chat with your Ohana, visit your doctor without going into the office, or help your keiki with learning from home. Learn more about the Affordable Connectivity Program. Visit broadband.hawaii.gov/ACP.
The 50s, the 60s, the 70s. Hi, this is Steve Summers welcoming you aboard the Oldies Time Machine right here on KAKU. Enjoy special features like the Diner Tune, the Motown Memory, the Doo-Wopper, and the Elvis Moment. Come on! Spend an hour inside the Oldies Time Machine, Sunday mornings at 1 and 10 a.m. right here on the Voice of Maui, KAKU.
Hi, I'm Jason Schwartz, host of The Neutral Zone. KAKU is a listener-supported station. This means that all of the great programs you hear, like mine, are sponsored by you as well as our underwriters. If you would like to help keep the Voice of Maui talking loud and clear, go to kakufm.org/donate today and give. And don't miss The Neutral Zone Mondays at 11 a.m. on 88.5 FM, the Voice of Maui. Hey there, we're going to play a song, another song from Lono called Then I Do. 2 minutes, 13 seconds. If you're having a wedding, I hope you hear this.
There is no other one. What I feel here for you, holding you in my arms, cradle you with my love. You're all dressed in white, looking in your eyes, tell all the world tonight I'll be falling. You're my shining star from this day on. I'll be your friend, I'll be by your side. Blessed are we this night. Shower us with His love. Will you be mine tonight? Giving you all my love. And when we look back at our wedding day, this band of gold that we will share, never-ending love for all my life, then I do.
Lono wrote that. It's a beautiful love song. If you're going to have a wedding, that's the song to do. He asked me to sing that one, Unlock the Hope, and another song he has. But Lono himself is a fantastic performer and songwriter. Worked not only in English that I remember, but all the Hawaiian that he's done. He's a beautiful brother. We talked about being ambassadors to the world. This is our time, along with many others here. You know, we all work together. There's so much love. At the end of the show, I'm going to play a song from Louise Lambert called Peace in Our Hearts, which won an award in Toronto as a festival, but boy, it's a beautiful song, and it's perfect for now. Again, fantastic song sung by Louise. We got time. Let me just make sure I'm right. I'm here with Capri. Peter Capriotti has been on Maui a long, long time. You've really, when I looked at this little piece here in front of me, I see, my goodness, it's heavy. Tell me about this and talk to our audience, please, and share the whole process. When you talk about 505 Front Street and Malu'ulu Olele Cultural Center, and we're right across the place that these guys were building canoes forever. You know, I'm sure we're going to hear Kimo Keo come and share. And tell us about, please, jump in.
Well,
you really shouldn't have a wait with me because it's going to be tough.
Okay, my very much committed to our association. We helped inspire the Flower Fest with Celeste King. And then in 2000, we had the Millennium Trail that was designated from every state, had a road that connected the communities. So Hana Highway was selected, and we had a beautiful logo, 2000 Millennium Trail. And I was in Haiku, and I met Francis and Nancy, and Francis is my kapuna. And we said, let's do something special. Let's just not put a little sign up. Let's make it something special. Kapakalua, Hana Highway. So we got together and we said we got 22 places, 22 villages, towns between Paia and Kanaio. And, Francis says, we cannot use just any rock. You have to have a rock from that community. So I said, bring me the rock. We will carve the name of that community in the rock, make sure it's spelled correctly, which it did. And so together we were able to pull this off. And
the sign is still up now, right?
Yes, it's made of stone.
We're going to get pictures. For those of you who have television, go, what? We're going to get this with titles and things and pictures.
So we had it was a big celebration.
Yeah.
Patsy Mink was there.
Early 2000s.
Everybody that was important. Mm-hmm. Sam Kai did the blessing.
Right.
And was a beautiful blessing. And so that was our relationship. And they had just restored, the Sinensis had just restored the heiau and Hana.
Sinensis, another Hawaiian family from Hana.
Yes. So here we go, 20 years later, I'm talking to Francis. I hadn't seen him in a while. And he said, well, we're looking for a statue. And I had just come back from Thailand working with these sculptors and for the last 5 years, because I had, after 40-something years in the sign business, I wanted to get back to what I really love to do, which is art and sculpture. So I was studying over there, and the Pete and Santi, the family, welcomed me. And this was an honor to let me work and learn their process, okay? And they do many wonderful sculptures, mostly a lot of monks, and they can take a photograph and do all the detail.
This is full scale. No, this is a miniature of...
A miniature of the statue in Hana.
How big is the statue stand?
It's 8 foot tall and on a 4 foot platform, and it took 3 years, and partly because they left it to us to do all the permits. We thought that they were going to help us, but we didn't have much help. So my guys went out there, and we had to go through the parks, the shoreline management, and so forth, and that took a year and a half. So we winged that. We got it done. And the ceremony was chicken skin. The halal came over from the Big Island.
You got any pictures of that?
Yeah, we have that, but
we're going to see a couple here on the remake. Don't you worry.
So anyway, it was very touching. And Pete and his 7 members of his family came from Thailand, from Chiang Mai, and come over for the dedication, which was, like I said, chicken skin. The honor was that the guy to unveil the statue was not there, Victor Sinensi, who built the base. So my son Koa got up there and unveiled it and was able to put the lays on the Queen's arm. And that was an honor for me, because it was unexpected, but I was glad that we got to contribute. And not only did they get the statue, but they got the land where the statue is on, which was never owned by them. It was different entities that owned that. So not only did they got the statue, but they got the property. And this is so fitting, because she was born in a cave there during a time of war. They were in hiding. And she elevated herself to be the greatest queen that Hawaii's ever known. And
and her name is, can you spell it? Liluokalani. What, she has a story, right? The Queen's Story is the book.
Yes, she changed the kapu and did many things that were no one else was able to do before that. Men were not allowed.
That's another great person here. I really like Keimoku Kapu. He's very outstanding. We're talking about this show, and now I can't help but think Lahaina, West Side. We've lost many beautiful people, but some of the people that are left at that site there, the Malu'ulili Cultural Center was taken and used in different ways and changed the name, and Keimoku and his wife been there, and that's a story.
Well, there was a big loss that we lost the culture there. There was, and in fact, it was Sam Kai was over there. I went to see him, and it was closed. That you couldn't see. There were many artifacts in there that were lost, And that was the main depository of so much of the Lahaina culture.
I understand, but that's why I'm talking. As we're going, people talked about we don't want to see eminent domain come and take our place. We want to keep individual character. So I hope that the smart part, the eminent domain, happens with building of streets and utilities, and that the will of the community, along with wisdom, prevail, and that we create maybe another monument in
Lahaina was such a tight community, and Makawao, everybody
I
knew
lived
everybody.
There in 1988, 89, 90. Then I moved with Alain Vital, speaking of statues, and got people that did little ones after the big one. Kihei Whale done by Alain, and David Crocker helped them. Now, people don't know all these things that are history. Who ever heard of Tom Gizzerni, president of Maui Electric? When the Cultural Center opened, that's 30 years ago. We've been talking and knocking on the doors in politics, but things move slow here. Well, something happened this time that the whole world is now focused on Maui, and we want to do Maui right. Regen Maui and do more, be self-sustainable. We're going to have more people on this show and other shows. There's about 1,000 shows that are networked through MauiNeutralZone.com. You're going to be able to see, and we'll bring in other people that have videotaped a very rich community. I know there's plenty of video about Lahaina and about our past, all about Hawaiian. People need to get involved with his website. I've been holding this vision and holding the door open. There is no more door. Look at these beautiful people who've been here for years, giving, creating the aloha, honoring our local culture. You know, we weren't here in 1893, and we weren't here for all these things. I was here in 93. You were also, I guess.
Yes, and when I came here, everyone was questioning because the local culture was a little bit different. And they said, "Hey, bro, what you do?" And I said, "Well, I do art and sculpture and jewelry," and that was okay because you contribute something. They wanted people who came here that contributed to the community.
Yeah,
and I picked that up right away, and I was totally committed to the community as I have been.
I've had such a beautiful experience. You know, I'm afraid to talk and say, I have a lot of Hawaiians that are friends. I don't feel prejudice here at all. I've not. Some people experience, but I think it's what you put out. When you have aloha and love, and you think love, you come from love and peace, and you share in a way that is just honest and sincere. There are no walls.
I've lived in many different places. I'm from New Orleans originally, and I lived in New York. I was in Germany and went to high school in Wiesbaden. Proud to say, I lived in California, New York, San Francisco, Seattle. I've been to many places, but when I saw Makawao, I absolutely fell in love. And one of the guys on the soccer team was playing polo, and I started riding horse, and I've been devoted to that for many, many years. I've been in the parade and many parades, and they call me the New Orleans Cowboy because I like to be in the parade, but also we used to go in the crater all the time, and I was a crater rat because I just loved Haleakala so much. Now it's hard to get the cabins, but I'm very much committed to that, and we've been doing St. Jude ride for the last 30-something years ever since. I don't think I missed but one or two. We raised $25,000 last year for St. Jude's Children's Hospital. I'm very proud of that. And the Makawao Parade, I've been there for 30 years, and it's our community. And, I feel like I've contributed something, even though I'm, not from here originally, but I've been here almost 50 years. So,
well, what feels like now is we are already seeing that Maui Strong means we come together across the island. A major portion of our place, right in the middle, Lahaina, our home, our bedrock for our culture, our home, our bedrock for this island's whole development, Kaanapali, then to the south, the home, Lahaina. Let's dream Maui and put it together as we want and be part of it. Are these available? Can people get these, or you haven't yet got to that place?
I haven't got to that place yet, but they possibly will be. So this is an example of the work that we do, and
maybe we can do fundraiser. We'll put you up on the website.
Well, we would like to do Patsy Mink. We would like to do Daniel Lanois. With the sculptor I work with is fantastic, and he's one of the best in the world. And his family and I are very.
Sounds like we may have things that you're going to have to talk
They've taken
about
me in, and I know all the people who work with him. He went from maybe a half a dozen people to 30 employees now. He's very serious about moving forward, doing large and small sculpture. And because he is the type of person that connects the people who passed on to the family, this is a very beautiful connection because he's bringing back the life and the image of that person who has passed on,
of course, and
to the family, to the Ohana.
Job. I think that when we're going to probably branch out as we get people that will be involving themselves with us. We'll have money and be paying in the future, but we're going to work out a whole program with trade. And the things that can happen through the horror that can happen. This is unexpected and horrible, but we can see beautiful because of the richness of and who.
Well, Katrina happened in New Orleans, and it was very, very tragic. It breaks my heart. It'll never be the same. And it's like the French Quarter burning down. I think Mick Fleetwood put that comparison this morning. Culturally, it's the most important. It's the jewel of Maui, and of course, we're going to rebuild it, and we want to rebuild it better. But the community that we had, that's gone, and we need to rebuild that through the local people who are from there, that belong there, and they're indigenous, and they should always have
honor that.
Yes, we need to honor that, and we don't want to see the gentrification of Lahaina. We don't want to see the big boys come in and take everything from the locals. That has been going on for way too long. We have to change that culture. The locals are at the bottom of the pole, and the totem pole, and they should be at the top. We should think about the locals that live here, the indigenous people.
Well,
first.
I don't think that we have explored the possibilities that I've been working with and on, and Noah's here, that talks about decentralized, growing plants and homes and education and integrating in such a way. There's a picture done by Richard Fields.
Yes,
Rainbow
I know
Temple.
Rich is a friend of mine.
The work that he did in the Visionary Arc with John Scofield, paint where we could be. I got the rights to all that stuff, so we may use some of that to share. Again, we'd love to have Richard and his brother James.
Richard was, we brought him over to Thailand and Chiang Mai. He had his teeth done.
Oh.
And I got to look at more of his artwork there because he lives way up in Kanaio. But I included him when I did a mural in this very place 30 years ago when this place was one big restaurant called Sugarfields. And I did several murals there, and I brought him in and several other artists. That's the whole thing is we need to keep our community. We need to keep our community strong, and we need to communicate. We need to talk about the issues and be involved. We don't need apathy. We don't need to say, well, it's not my thing. I'm not going to vote. I'm not going to be involved. It's already figured out. But no, you have to be involved. You have to stand up. And
well, I think this is
the people who are the billionaires who came here have to understand that they have to contribute. They have to contribute to our community.
Tell them directly into
yes,
the camera.
They have to contribute, folks. I know you're living in an isolated world, and that you're up there and everybody's down there, but that you have to be involved. And
what's also, I think, really important is this is not going away tomorrow. So we're making a rush, and we local people also, and getting resources there, which we do in this acute situation. That we get help from FEMA and whoever. And again, you can't see it, so it becomes out of. But this is going to be an ongoing effort to support our West Side and anyone that's hurting. There are a lot of people that aren't from the West Side that are hurting. There are people that are old. There are people that are homeless that can't conform into the shelters. We desperately need housing. We can do things. We can do so much. There's so much that we can do because it's we. It is we. You know, I've been holding this door open. I had a thing called Hold the Vision, which I wrote and put in the paper 1993, a couple of papers. I put it in again. Mark Veith, who was then a reporter, put it in. He's now the editor. 30 years, you see. So much time is gone. This is the time to use the best of who and what we are and work together. And I put this nonprofit together to be independent from the county, independent, so we can do. What if we get $5 billion through promoting art and music and culture and link up with people all over the world who love that art, music, and culture? What could happen? We could change the world and decentralize and do this thing and share and be what I've envisioned for 30 years, a global example place. The opening weekend of the Cultural Center, I gave up to the non-drinking thing. You know that thing, First Light? And they didn't include us. They were just afraid. And that's how I met Pundy. That's how we created and shared this vision. But politics and what's going on and all that stuff, and I'm a little guy. I feel like David trying to not even take down Goliath. Have Goliath and everyone work together. And that's what I have seen that hope that from the 60s and 70s, which I'm old, I'm 72, grown up to a point where we can live it. I've seen it here. I've lived it here. Look at these beautiful people like Capri, who've had such rich lives, who have been involved. Your time to be involved, my time to be involved. This is not the time to not be involved. And don't let someone judge you. Do what you know you do, but contribute. Whether it's money, buy this, go to a show. Whether it's help an artist through what we do. Whether it's support money direct. There are all kinds of places that will take your money. We want to do shows and help and support the music and art of this island and rebuild, and we rebuild. We think of you in Kula. We think of you wherever you've lost, anywhere on the streets. We think of you in Lahaina and the West Side. We honor the people that have lost their lives and the people that grieve so personally for their things, but also for the people. We honor that the future can be as great as we make it. You know, we talk about that, but we mean that.
Well, there's West Maui and East Maui, but it's all one island. We're all in this boat together. And we have to think that way. Most of the contractors that live up country have jobs on the West Side. In Hilo, they would rather live in Hilo and work in Waikoloa and make that 2-hour drive every day than live on that side. So there's upcountry people and people who are on the West Side. He's talking
about, for you that don't know, that's the Big Island. You know what's so funny? All these islands together are Hawaii. That's why we're the DreamMakers Foundation. And we've been on Maui, so we're the DreamMakers Foundation of Maui. But Mama and Papa, I thought, well, should we be something with the H for Hawaii? We welcome little beacons all over to come together. When we talk about some of the guests on our show, we're going to be making you, Capri, really happy and proud and be part of this. I honor you for the work and life that you've had here and what you're going to do to contribute now and to help bring others to this common vision. Well, I know that Mick Fleetwood, someone has to help me get to do that, to talk to Mick Fleetwood, to see Oprah, to get the mayor to take me seriously when I want to talk about something. Because I've been at this a long time, and there are others that can work with us. The power comes from the people. We're a team. Team Aloha at iCloud.com. I didn't do that accidentally, but that's 30 years already. It's time for us to embrace who and what we are. Let's not just talk about it, let's do it. And, you know, to raise $5 billion to match whatever, I don't want to put a number, but imagine how much good and what we do with our economy, the art, the music, everything, and how we can do the best that we can be and be what God wants us to be, however we perceive God. We're talking about love.
You know, I spent a lot of time in Chiang Mai, Thailand, and people say, well, you love it so much, why don't you move there? I said, no. Maui is my home, and my horse is here, my animals are here, my farm is here, and this is where I live, and I'm not going to retire. I probably should, but I'm not going to because there's too much work to do, and you know, we're busy. More busy than people say, well, you're going to have a lot of signs. I'm really not looking forward to it, but
Capri, we're going to have you for another time.
Yeah.
We got 2 minutes and such. I'm not looking forward to you doing anything that you don't love, but I know that anything that you do is going to be blessed and full of love for everyone. We're going to have another show, you and I, assume, where we can explore. You know, all of the world knows that we don't want to call it hurricane this and fire that. LAHAINA and Maui Strong, DreamMaui.org. Dream Maui, how are you part of this solution? Whether it's art or music or culture or coming together, let's do it through here and what we are. We only have 1 minute and 50 seconds. Anything you want to say and say goodbye to the people, these beautiful people of Maui and the world? Some of them will see it live and some of them will see it taped. MauiNeutralZone.com.
Stay strong. Let's move forward. We can't look back. We need to look forward. We need to go upward and onward. And you know, that's our mantra from concept to completion. And our concept is going to be that we will be better than we were before. We're going to take that hit as just like New Orleans took the hit and rebuild. It's not going to be the same. But if we keep our community strong and communicate and be involved and engaged, we're all going to be much better off for it.
Well, Capri, thank you. We'll have you back. You're a blessing to our island and to our world. And you out there, I hope that you'll be in touch with all these ways we're trying to get you in touch. And you know that this is something that we wondered when, but from here, it is now. We thank you for joining us today. MauiNeutralZone.com, MauiArtsAndMusic.org, DreamMaui.org. This is how to be part of something that's going to change the lives of the world and make it better and get inspired through this horrible tragedy. Blessings and gratitude. Aloha.
Mahalo, Jason, for being out there.